And we are back in the building, back with some more boxing. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and all that good stuff. Now, guys, I must admit, this has been a spectacular year for the sport of boxing. We got a lot of great fights this year, guys. Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford, Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis. We got the fight with Caleb Sweethands Plant and David Benavidez. We got Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. We got a lot of great fights this year. So I don't really have a lot of complaints about the sport of boxing this year. I do have some disappointments. The Showtime thing, that is a disappointing thing. Them getting out of the sport of boxing. I think, I'm trying to be optimistic about it. We're going to see where PBC lands. But yeah, it's kind of a black eye, I think, when it comes to the sport of boxing. I didn't like it when, HBO got out of the business of boxing. Now Showtime goes down. But it is what it is, guys. Sometimes things change and we have to adapt. So we're going to see what happens with that. Now, another thing that, I think bothers me when it comes to the sport of boxing is how long it takes to make these fights sometimes. And case in point, the Errol Spence Jr. Terrence Bud Crawford fight. That fight was 5 years in the making. It took 5 years to get that fight over the hump, even though 5 years ago both of those guys were fighting at welterweight. And that fight shouldn't have took that long. Two of the top guys at 147, that fight should have been made. And it was all, the dynamics of being on the wrong side of the street, being on these different platforms, not playing nice together. And, it frustrates the boxing fans. Now, on the other hand, it's amazing to me how quickly some things can get made. And what I'm talking about is, according to Malik Scott, the trainer of the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, they're already in talks. To face Francis Ngannou, the Predator. That's his alias, guys, the Predator. They're already in talks, according to Malik Scott. He did an interview with FightHype.com. Shout out to FightHype.com. And he mentioned that. He says he's an option now, and we're going to see where things go. Yeah, absolutely, said Malik Scott when asked if communications started in the last 24 hours for the Ngannou-Wilder fight. So in the last 24 hours, they've already been in talks. We're just coming off of the Ngannou Tyson Fury fight, the controversial win by Tyson Fury. Everybody's still talking about it. Ngannou's being praised at, him being his first time in a boxing ring, doing so well against quite arguably the best heavyweight on the planet. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem at heavyweight. I just see it. And I also talked about yesterday how Wilder had already called Ngannou out months ago on Trill Boxing Talk. He talked about facing Ngannou possibly in Africa, and then he was interested in going and fighting Ngannou after that in an MMA ring. So there you have it. But I didn't think that these two would be negotiating right now. We also talked about yesterday how the WBC president Mauricio Suleiman talked about seeing if Ngannou can be ranked by the WBC Council. So we're still waiting on that. Now, like I said in the previous video, before Saturday night, I would have said if Wilder and Ngannou faced off against each other, that Ngannou wouldn't stand a chance against Deontay Wilder. Now I'm a little bit reluctant to say that due to what I saw past Saturday night, of course. Ngannou looked good in there for his first time in the ring. He was able to knock Tyson Fury down. Tyson Fury wasn't able to knock him down. We know Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury twice. Deontay Wilder's been out of the ring longer than Tyson Fury. I think he's been out of the ring of about a year now, a year and some change. Whereas Tyson Fury was close to a year before the fight last Saturday night. So ring rust, that could be a problem for Deontay Wilder. The size of Ngannou, I think he's 6'4". He came in the ring like 270 pounds plus. So he's a pretty big, solid guy. Wilder, he's come in the ring, about 235 before, but that seems to not work for him. He seems to get tired a lot faster. We've seen him in the ring as low as 212 pounds. He's a lot more agile, I think, when he's light like that. But will he be able to handle the size of Ngannou? Because we saw when he was in the ring with Fury, he had issues handling Fury's size. But Fury was, grappling Wilder a lot and laying his heavy body on him. I'm not sure if Ngannou would do that. But if he was able to do that, would it tire Deontay Wilder's legs out? These are questions that have to be answered or asked to, is Wilder up to fighting Ngannou? Now, I will say this, Wilder, having Malik Scott in his corner, he has a great trainer. I would say that. We've seen Wilder look a lot sharper in the ring. Well, in his training, of course, he only fought with Malik Scott a couple of times. We didn't really get to see anything in his last fight with, who was it? Robert Helenius, because he knocked Robert Helenius out in the first round. We did get to see some shades of his newfound skill set with Malik Scott in the Tyson Fury fight before he reverted back to his old ways. But that's, that happens when a fighter's, switching up his training style. A lot of times early on, they'll revert back to what they normally do. So, but now he's been working with Malik Scott some time now. I'm sure, he has a lot more tricks up his sleeve. They probably drilled a lot of stuff, and I'm interested in seeing how different Wilder looks from the Wilder of old, and I think this will be a good fight between these two, and I wouldn't take Ngannou lightly. I fell into that same trap, of taking Ngannou lightly because he was an MMA fighter coming into the sport of boxing, and I mentioned that I'm no longer going to overlook these guys, and I don't think the fighter should overlook these guys like Jake Paul, guys like Francis Ngannou, guys who are coming into boxing and wanting to prove a point. And all these MMA channels, they're having a field day right now. They're having a field day kind of crapping on the sport of boxing. And I will say some of the things that they say are true. The judging's kind of bad. We've had that issue. Not only are the boxing fans seeing this, but now we have, people outside of boxing seeing how bad this judging can be. And that's the type of thing that kills the sport. So we got to get this right. And these boxers have got to stop taking these MMA guys lightly when they come into a ring. Take them seriously. They are fighters. And just because they haven't been in a boxing ring doesn't mean, they aren't determined to bring something special to the table. They aren't determined to come in and win, and that's what Ngannou did last Saturday night. He didn't come in there just to lay down. He came in there to win that fight. Even though he didn't win on paper, he won in the hearts and minds of a lot of people, and made a boatload of money doing it. So expect more crossover fights like this happening in the sport of boxing. But yeah, guys, they're already in talks with this fight. And we're going to see what happens next with it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on with the Wilder-Anthony Joshua situation. We'll see what happens. We just got to let these things play out. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think. Is this something you want to see? If you do want to see it, who do you think will win this fight? Ngannou, Wilder? You guys let me know about it in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.